Playing video games is supposed to be a distraction from daily life, combining flashing lights and pretty colors with complicated strategies to boot. During a playthrough, you can have an amazing scripted moment or a ridiculous frightening glitch. Both leave you confused as to just what happened. Video games are simply lines and lines of code, data for your computer or console to process and for you to enjoy. Thankfully, we have the ability to save this data, pause the moment, and share it with the world. We grabbed some of our favorites, but if we missed any, let us know in the comments below. Here are the 10 best pause-worthy video game moments. Red Dead Redemption. A sequel to Red Dead Redemption, the well-received Western game, is scheduled to be released later this year. Fans of the third-person, mostly open-world game await to see how Rockstar will follow up on the story of John Marston in the early 1900s Wild West. Yes, they remember riding horses through the sand and... oh my god, what is that? Could that really be a half-man, half-cougar next to a snake with a human face? Looks like the glitches in Red Dead are almost as good as the game itself. Beautifully recreating northern Mexico and the southwestern United States requires a lot of code, and sometimes a 1 and a 0 could cross into each other, and we end up with a desert full of manimals. Since this finding, a patch was released to fix the issue, but those who lived through bird people or donkey women will never forget. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Urban legends appeal to the mysterious nature of man. Can something unexplained actually be unexplainable? Almost always, no. There are roughly 46,000 ghost shows on TV, and none of them has even caught a glimpse of proof. You can, however, prove one video game mystery with a flick of the pause button. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas had many Easter eggs for fans to find, including freaky ghostly cars. If you wanted to get away from the hustle and gunfire of the city, a leisurely stroll through the woods was a nice change of pace. But beware, as junked-up versions of cars could spawn suddenly. With lights on and engines purring, the car would roll towards the startled gamer, seemingly attacking them. It's unknown if this was done on purpose or if it's just a plain old glitch, but it is widely known to scare the fizz out of unsuspecting players. The Sims 4. The fourth iteration of life simulator The Sims from Maxis Studios caught flack from feverish fans for the removal of several features, including customization tools and swimming pools. The missing feature that seemed to upset the most? The toddler stage of life. What seemed like an obvious step backwards may have been intentionally missing in The Sims 4 to protect the sanity of the game players themselves. The game would, however, occasionally create a demon baby, and no one really wants to raise the son of Satan. They go through so many diapers. Chalked up as another one of the game's glitches, many fans shared glimpses of their deformed and demonic offspring. While the babies still had 10 fingers and 10 toes, sometimes they were several inches long, and their torsos would be twisted or even missing. Apparently, the game needs to add Exorcist as an additional career option. Fallout New Vegas. What happens in New Vegas should stay in New Vegas, especially if it's freaking flying heads. Released in 2010, Fallout New Vegas was the fourth installment in the post-apocalyptic franchise. Developed by Obsidian Entertainment, the game was a huge success, shipping an estimated 12 million units worldwide and winning several RPG of the Year awards. Despite all that, the game contained a spooky glitch that would cause heads to float across the screen, or sinewy carcasses to carry on having conversations with your main character. The issue would occur when killing certain bad guys, saving the game, and then returning back to where they were standing. You would often just find their head, if you're lucky. The less fortunate, however, would often return to a set of eyes, half a jaw, and torso consisting of only an intestine-wrapped spinal cord. Ugh. I hope my producer brought a barf bag. Batman, Arkham City. Besides being Batman's arch-villain, the Joker has been many things over the years. A sad and terrifying clown, a murderer, and even a misunderstood comedian. In Batman Arkham City from Rocksteady Studios, the Joker slowly dying from a blood disease, causing a mutation. Throughout the game, players fight a who's who from the Dark Knight's roster, finally ending with a chance to save the Joker's life with a serum to cure his illness. The Clown Prince, being evil and all, fights to the very end, and the antivirus is lost in the process as Joker slowly succumbs to his illness. The final scene shows Batman carrying a dead and crumpled Joker in his arms, laying him down onto a police cruiser. The shocking moment caused fans to pause their games in disbelief and admire the stunning artwork. Duke Nukem Forever. Perhaps the longest delayed game in history, Duke Nukem Forever was released in 2011 after almost 15 years in development. The game was bashed by critics for outdated graphics, repetitive gameplay, and juvenile antics. Duke's trademark raunchy humor and over-the-top manliness was a hit in the late 90s, but by the time Forever was released, fans no longer found it funny. Mostly because they have zero sense of humor, because let's face it, throwing poop never gets old. To receive the Turd Burglar achievement, or trophy, players had to grab a floating piece of fecal matter from any of the numerous toilets in the game. But wait, there's more! You could of course throw the excrement. Throw it on a wall, or throw it on a stall. You could toss it in the air, or even in an NPC's hair. Anyone who played this game is not too surprised that a sequel is not in the works. Sorry, Duke. The Walking Dead Season 1. The final choice in the final chapter of The Walking Dead Season 1 from Telltale Games forces players to make a gut-wrenching decision. In the game, you play as former professor and inmate Lee Everett. Along the way, Lee finds a young girl, Clementine, and the two of them embark on an emotional journey while avoiding life-threatening zombies and human survivors alike. The relationship between the two was a beautiful one as it unfurled throughout the game's story, but all good things must come to an end, and Telltale sure didn't pull any punches, making its players choose the final fate of the game's protagonist in the last scene. Lee gets bitten by a zombie, leaving the player to decide to kill him before he turns, or to let him become the living dead.
Is one of you chopping onions while watching this video? That's gotta be why I'm starting to tear up.
Bioshock. Hidden and heard throughout Bioshock, the words "would you kindly" started as a cute phrase and turned out to be one of the biggest twist endings in video games. Released in 2007 from 2K Games and Take-Two Interactive, the game was a huge success, spawning several sequels and always was a conversation for the greatest game ever. After spending the whole game exploring and fighting your way through an underwater city, players run into what's known as the WYK Wall. Full of notes, audio recordings, and photos, this discovery scrambled players' brains when it was revealed that the character didn't actually find the underwater city of Rapture. They grew up there and were mind-controlled by the phrase, "would you kindly." Insert mind-blown emoji here. Let's see if it still works. Would you kindly subscribe to our channel? It was worth a shot, right? Metroid. If gamers had Twitch in 1986, their reaction videos to the end of Metroid would have been great. Nintendo's side-scrolling platformer was a huge success, spawning several sequels and for its hero Samus to continue to be popular even to this day. Part of the reason could be the gender-swapping ending that no one saw coming and resulted in many players pausing the screen in disbelief. If you were able to beat the game in under 5 hours, a special ending was triggered in which the main character, Samus, removed her helmet to reveal that she was, well, a she. The game is praised for being one of the first female-driven games, but a forgotten fact was that the faster you played the game, the skimpier outfits you earned, including a bikini. Which doesn't sound as sexist as some might say, as it probably got super hot under all that space armor. Eternal Darkness. In one of the greatest mind florps ever perpetrated on gamers, Nintendo had GameCube players reaching for their controllers to hit pause, not to save the moment, but to try and protect all of their hard work and progress. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, wasn't a huge success by any stretch, but became a fan favorite for the various ways it tested gamers' patience as their characters struggled to keep his sanity. When their sanity meter runs empty, the game begins playing tricks on you, with many breaking the fourth wall. Something kinda like this. Hey you, viewer. Yeah, you with the pretty face. How's it going? The worst was a dialogue box that popped up asking if you wanted to delete your saved file. Either answer resulted in what appears to be the game deleting everything. Thankfully it was just a gag, and gamers really didn't lose any of their data. However, many controllers were broken trying to hit that pause button to stop the pretend problem. Those were some of the most pause-worthy moments in video games. In retrospect, I probably should have warned about a couple of spoilers before the video started. My bad. Much like humans, technology isn't perfect, and sometimes mistakes happen, resulting in awful glitches that can sometimes turn into something amazing. The same goes for capturing a still frame of a great gaming achievement. What gaming moments would you like frozen in time? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. As always, thanks for watching.